Tuesday is Election Day all over the country. Early voting just ended in New York's mayoral race this weekend, with 735,000 ballots cast. It's the highest early voter turnout in New York's history for a non-presidential race, something like 4 times the number of people who usually vote in early voting. As the 3 candidates for mayor, Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, and Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa closed out their campaigns, President Trump told 60 Minutes he's not a fan of Cuomo, but would pick him over Mamdani, who he called a communist. Meanwhile, the New York Times reports former President Obama told Mamdani in a private phone conversation Saturday his campaign had been impressive and offered to be a sounding board. Zohran Mamdani's mayoral campaign has energized communities across New York City in unprecedented ways, mobilizing nearly 100,000 volunteers for his campaign. Democracy Now!'s Anjali Kamat has been following a crucial, often overlooked portion of Mamdani's base, working-class South Asians.
It's Friday afternoon in a quiet neighborhood in Kensington, Brooklyn. These women are members of Drumbeats, an advocacy group for low-income South Asian and Indo-Caribbean communities here in New York. And they're getting ready to canvass for Zohran Mamdani.
So half of the list is going to cover with them, then they will find them.
They split up into groups, and I followed them as they knocked on dozens of doors. Armed with colorful flyers about the campaign in Bengali and Urdu and dozens of Zohran pins, they explained why they thought Mamdani was the best candidate and reminded neighbors about early voting times and locations.
So November 4th is a final vote. Assalamu alaikum.
Their enthusiasm was infectious, often bursting into Bengali chants of "My mayor, your mayor." And for the most part, it seemed to work. I spoke to Fahd Ahmed, who runs Drumbeats, which stands for Desis, or South Asians, Rising Up and Moving. Their organization was among the very first to endorse Zohran's run for mayor last year.
Many people will say that, oh, well, it's a South Asian descended candidate, and so it must be an identity thing. But we've had several South Asian or Indo-Caribbean candidates, but none of them elicit this response. And I think the fact that the campaign spoke to the very material issues of working class people as first and foremost has really made a very significant difference.
I also spoke to Jagpreet Singh, Drumbeat's political director, who's in charge of endorsing political candidates and getting the vote out.
When Zohran had come to us to begin with, he said his base, the base he was looking at, were 3 planks. Number 1 was the leftist progressives. His second plank was rent-stabilized tenants. And the third was Muslim and South Asian communities. Communities that have not been previously galvanized, have not been previously activated, usually have some of the lowest voter turnout rates. So from the get-go, our communities were going to be a big part of his base.
Qazi Fawzia moved to New York City from Bangladesh in 2008. Now she's Drum's organizing director. The tireless campaigning by women like her was crucial to Zohran's victory in the primaries. In some neighborhoods, voter turnout among South Asian and Indo-Caribbean communities doubled.
Just 24/7, they are thinking how to win. Some of them work in the cafeteria and the school. Some of them also work in the retail store. Some of them are home health worker, take care of the patient. One of my leader actually restaurantship. They are not only just volunteer. They build actually movement.
After a long evening of canvassing, they're back at the office only to get ready for more of the same, the next day and every day after until the elections.
These all tired people come together and creating movement to show the world how political campaign supposed to be look like.
6-7
The early
million
vote
dollars. In June, we won the primary because of historic numbers of new voters that turned out. We changed the electorate.
Earlier this month, Zohran Mamdani addressed an excited crowd of supporters at a Bangladeshi restaurant in Jackson Heights, Queens.
Zohran Mamdani! What we did in the primary is we increased the turnout of Muslims by 60%, the turnout of South Asians by 40%, and when I stood in front of the world and gave a speech that night, I made sure to remember the Bangladeshi aunties that knocked on the doors across this city. And people have asked me, what will it mean to have a Muslim mayor? What my grandmother Kulsum taught me, that to be a good Muslim is to be a good person. It is to help those in need and to harm no one. The truth of this campaign, it is a truth that believes in each one of the people in this room and their possibility. It is the truth that looks at the youngest among us and sees that they could be anything in this city. Anything they want.
At the Jackson Heights Farmers Market that weekend, the high school students who met Mamdani at the restaurant were still thinking about his words.
If I could run for mayor, I think I would have a lot of great ideas. Just like Zohran, making New York City affordable. I want to be able to live here without any worry about paying rent. I know I'm just 17, but I want to be able to move out next year and experience living in the city, because I know even for my family it's really hard to pay the rent. So, yeah.
Mohini Mehbooba is one of the youth members of Drumbeats. A talented artist, Mohini was giving people henna tattoos that spelled Zohran.
We work so hard, phone banking, canvassing, and I love doing it, and I'm gonna do some more today, hopefully. And it's just a really good feeling to do something that will be able to change for us as well.
Thank you so much. At
the Drumbeats office in Jackson Heights, there's a different group of people phone banking every afternoon. They're reaching out to communities in a variety of South Asian languages, with volunteers making calls in Nepali, Urdu, and Bengali. A group of high school students are also making calls, in between joking around.
Hey, my name is Sami, and I am a high school volunteer for the Zohran Mamdani's campaign. Have you ever heard about Zohran Mamdani? Are you planning to vote for him on the election day, November 4th?
High school student Miftahun Mohona explains why she's passionate about campaigning for Zohran Mamdani.
Even though I'm not at the age to vote, not yet, I still care about people above 18. For them to vote for Zohran, because the thing is, if they vote for the right person, that also benefits me, because I live in a world where it's very corrupt, and every action that the people over 18 taking, like voting, their action means a lot to me as well, because I come from a working class family. We don't have many benefits. We don't have much resources.
Across working class South Asian communities in the city, there's a deep belief that Zohran Mamdani will stand up for them if he becomes mayor. A big reason for that is his role in the taxi workers' protest against medallion debt back in 2021. When the drivers decided to go on a hunger strike, Assemblyman Mamdani joined them for the full 15 days. Qazi Fauzia remembers how moved the community was.
I saw how long he's doing the hunger strike, and he almost dying that time. So I feel this call actually real solidarity. Solidarity, not just come and talk and leave. Solidarity also, he put his body frontline.
Drum, or Desi's Rising Up and Moving, was founded in Jackson Heights, Queens in 2000 as a membership organization of low-wage South Asian and Indo-Caribbean workers and youth. For most of its history, their membership has faced the brunt of domestic repression and hate crimes that followed the September 11th attacks. Qazi Fauzia found herself the target of NYPD surveillance when she started organizing in immigrant Muslim communities.
I came 2008 this country, and I used to work in retail store in Jackson Heights, and that time I'm doing volunteering, organizing with the drum, and one day I found informer behind me.
A few years later, as hate crimes against South Asian immigrants spiked again, many people suggested she stop wearing her hijab.
people asked me 2013, you should take off your hijab because it's not safe anymore. We saw how much isolation and fear community had after 9/11.
Jagpreet Singh remembers his Sikh family members cutting their hair and beards and wearing American flag T-shirts to stay safe after 9/11.
This is a reality we lived with for a long time, that we had to hide ourselves, that we had to retreat back, that we had to fight for everything that we wanted. And we're in this reality now, where Zohran Mamdani is about to become mayor of our city, a very outward Muslim man, South Asian, who is very much into his identity, who does not hide his identity.
From the shadows of post-9/11 repression and fear, the Mamdani campaign has given this community a new sense of political confidence and purpose.
So if you see now our member, our community member, our religious lead, our neighbors, all now talking for Zohran. If they go back the 9/11 era and they try to talk about Islamophobic, xenophobic thing, it's not going to sell. It's not going to sell. It's over. People are not going to go back the isolating zone anymore. If they try to implementing this, they will push back.
If Zohran Mamdani wins the mayoral election, drumbeats like other progressive groups that backed Mamdani from the start could find themselves in a brand new role, collaborating with the administration to govern the city. It's been a long journey, from advocating for those on the margins to potentially having a seat at the table. Here's Jagpreet Singh again.
Talks about what the administration would look like are still a little premature, but the campaign and the administration has been very willing to work with organizations like ours at Drumbeats. It feels amazing to see that we now get to take up leadership, that we get to not only have a seat at the table, but run how our city runs. It's not just going to happen by him being in office, no matter how charismatic he is.
Qazi Fawzia says that if Mamdani wins the race, but is unable to keep his campaign promises down the road, their members will not hesitate to push his administration and hold their feet to the fire.
Zohran make impossible possible in his grassroots movement too, in the mayoral campaign. So Zohran have to keep his promises and fulfill his commitment, and we will be support all the time him. And also if he don't fulfill or keep his promises, we will hold him accountable.
In the event of a Mamdani victory, his administration will not face an easy path. People like Fahd Ahmed are already preparing for how to confront the many challenges and threats that may come, whether from the Trump administration or Wall Street and real estate interests.
On our side, there will be real challenges of trying to run a city as a left when we don't have extensive experience of doing that. But how it is that we govern, tending to the actual material needs that come up in day-to-day administration of the city, while having a vision that is transformative, that does believe that cities and society can be shaped differently and can function in ways that actually meet the needs of everyday working people.
But for now, the South Asian and Indo-Caribbean communities that have been pounding the pavement for Mamdani couldn't be more excited for a potential Zohran Mamdani victory and their new role in the spotlight.
We choose the future because for all those who say our time is coming, my friends, our time is now.
For Democracy Now!, this is Anjali Kamat with Nicole Salazar. Thanks to Rehan Ansari.
And special thanks to Charina Nadura. Thanks for watching Democracy Now! On YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss a video. And for more of our audience-supported journalism, go to democracynow.org, where you can download our news app, sign up for our newsletter, subscribe to the daily podcast, and so much more.